Good morning. Welcome back to Ministry Monday. This is Carlton Coon. Last week I began talking with you about involving people, particularly new converts, in the work of the body of Christ. And my first step in that direction was we need to teach that these people coming in are part of a body, and to borrow from Ephesians, that we are a building fitly framed together, and that each of them have a responsibility and a role to help make the church everything it can be. If we can get everyone in our congregation involved with what is their passion and also what uses their motivational gift, and I'm using the reference from Romans chapter 12 where there is a gift listing. If we can get everybody involved, it's amazing how much quicker the church gains momentum toward true evangelism and making new disciples in the body of Christ. Some have asked, well, what do you do next? We have taught about that, and we have even used some gift tests and motivational things. Well, let me give you a couple of ideas that we use through the years, and all of these are work, and of course everything that you ever do for the work of God and purpose of Christ is going to be work. But one of these just kind of evolved from our various ministry leaders, where that after I had taught about service and servanthood for a couple of weeks, we would do a job fair, and every ministry in the church would set up a booth, and they would present what their ministry was about and also what their needs were as far as additional staffing was concerned. And these people who would walk through, they would find themselves interested and intrigued by various things that were happening, and they would sign up for more information about a particular ministry. And the job fair in time took on a life of its own. And what I mean is that the various department heads became somewhat competitive with making it look right. I think about the third year in, we had it where that people voted on what they thought was the best display or booth presenting a ministry. But the more important thing was that it gave an opportunity for people who maybe were on the outer edge of the church to see some of the things that we were doing. Maybe they didn't know about some of this, and they became interested, they became engaged, they became participants in the work of God. And someone said anybody who has their hand on a boat paddle doesn't have time to drill a hole in the bottom of the boat. If you are going to have a happy and content congregation, they need to be participating. They need to be on the field playing. They're not just fans of what you're doing and your good preaching, but they are participating. And their participation may be minimal because everybody doesn't have the same level of commitment. But if they can somehow be a doorkeeper or maybe a parking lot attendant or anything else that would allow them to serve and for you to recognize their service, it will make an incredible difference in the body of Christ. So, steps I've talked about so far, and I'll deal with this one more week, is you got to preach and teach about service and servanthood as an expected part of the work of God. The second thing is use some sort of gift test teaching like Fitly Framed that I mentioned last week, and it is available at the website. I'll try to put a link here again. And then do something like the job fair that makes people aware of what's going on in the local church that they might like to participate in. One last reminder, this is the last week for now to enroll in Mastering Disciple Making. We'd love to have you, and there is a discount available. Goes away very quickly later this week. God bless. Look forward to seeing you next Monday.